Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hi, this is Rico. I know the 2024 season is far away, but I just want to say I saw an article that showed the strength of schedule. The Browns have the hardest schedule on paper next season, and the AFC North has the top 3 hardest schedules in the league next season. And I think it will truly reveal the makeup of this team. And not to mention that the AFC North has provided one half of the last 3 AFC title game appearances. This is going to be a crazy season in 2024 and division race. How do you feel about the Browns having the hardest schedule next season? Thanks. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Fred, it's tough playing in the AFC North. I mean, the Ravens just lost. Steelers were a playoff team. The Bengals were 9-8. So first time ever that, since like the 30s, that all teams in a division have been over 500. All those teams are going to be really good again next year. But I wouldn't get terribly caught up just yet. Who knew Clayton Tune was going to be the quarterback when the Browns played the Cardinals? Who knew Jake Browning was going to end up playing quarterback for the Bengals? You just never know until the games start going.
Yeah, I mean, when the schedule comes out in late April, early May, I guess it is now, everybody does that schedule game deal. And games you think are going to be, very easy wins, usually, like you said, turn out completely the opposite due to injury or just the way it goes. I mean, the Titans, when they played third game of the year, I thought that was going to be a team that was playing for, obviously, the postseason, and then they turned out to be firing their head coach. You look at the Chargers. Every year seems to be a season in itself, and sometimes it's just the domino effect. And yeah, you can say right now, the AFC North, who would have thunk that the Bengals would have been the also ran? If you would have said 3 out of the 4 teams made the playoffs, the Bengals were the team that didn't make it. I don't think you would have had that on your bingo card. And so everybody assumes they'll all be good again. And that's why it's so tough in the division, because you're playing them each time. That's 6. That's over a third of your schedule is against the division. And that's why it's just year in, year out. But I don't think it's necessarily hardest schedule type of thing. I mean, if you'd have told me the Browns would have beat the undefeated 49ers with their second or third string quarterback, a team that's in the Super Bowl, and they beat the Ravens, who's really the last loss they had in the regular season that was meaningful because they rested all their starters in the final game. With you couldn't ever predict it. And when you look back, teams you play, when you play them, makes such a big difference. Like you said, Clayton Tune versus Kyler Murray a week or 2 later would have been a big difference, and on and on. So I'm more concerned with the Browns getting better. And I think one thing about getting embarrassed against the Texans is that leaves a bad taste all winter, with Jim Schwartz particularly, that we got to figure out so that doesn't happen again. Because, yeah, they can say it was a bad day to have a bad day, but it was an embarrassing day, and that wasn't the defense the Browns showed all year. And they didn't play some of the best quarterbacks, because it seemed like a lot of the good quarterbacks happened to not play when the Browns played them. And when they played the upper echelon quarterbacks last year, they struggled. So I think all offseason, that will be a top priority, to be able to figure out what was the problem, not necessarily just on the road, but against, schemes of top quarterback play.